Hello everyone, my name is Lily, and this is my voice. It's better than those AI voices anyway. Oops, bye. Welcome to my first Q&A video. Well, technically it's not my first ever Q&A video since I did one on TikTok a year ago, but anyway. What is a Q&A video? It is a very popular content format in which a creator answers specific questions sent directly by their audience or followers. A Q&A video stands for Questions and Answers video, where you ask, and I answer. So let's get right into it. Before we do though, let me change the background because this background is ugly as shit. Let's see, murder mystery? No, I don't think so. Maybe something evil will happen? Nah, boring bro. Oh wait, I got this guys, I got this, I know. All set. So let's begin with the first question.
Hello, Lily. I love your games, so I wonder a lot about you. What inspired you to make Drawnout and Paul's Journey? Where are you from? What's your favorite sort of aesthetic? What do you like to do in your free time? Do you prefer dreamcore or weirdcore?
First of all, thank you so much. For Paul's Journey, the whole vibe of the game was inspired by Jim's computer and the overall psychological horror genre during that time. Though I was mainly inspired by my own past experiences and emotions. I think what inspired me to make Drawnout was actually Paul's Journey and its sudden success. It gave me a lot of motivation to work on something new, and believe it or not, Paul's Journey's deletion motivated me to work harder on Drawnout. However, it's also inspired by my own past experiences, and the characters also have certain traits that I do have myself. Also, I'm from Europe. And even though a lot of people have figured out which country I'm from, I prefer that to stay unknown for now. I like the Y2K analog aesthetic, pictures that look like they are of low quality, and I certainly love the vibe of big cities during nighttime. Lastly, I prefer dreamcore.
Was there any inspiration for the names of your characters? If so, what's the inspiration? Does Gus have any significant problems? Like mental health issues?
I'm gonna be honest with you, not really. I just personally liked these names, so I gave them to my characters because I thought they fit them well. And yes, Gus does fear of being abandoned because he gets attached too easily and also has low self-esteem.
What would Paul and Booker do if they met Jim from Jim's computer? What music does each character like? And what music do you like?
How they would react? Why don't we ask them in person? I bet they would love to answer. So guys, what do you have to say? Well. Okay, let's ask Jim then. Oh my god bro, what the fuck? I think that Booker would be more into artists like Adrian Lenker, while Paul would definitely listen to Radiohead. I personally listen to many different music genres, but I mainly listen to rap.
How did you come up with the idea to start creating games with the genre of psychological horror and such themes? Did something specific help you start your journey, or was it just interesting to try yourself in the field of game creation?
It's actually really funny because the reason why I created Paul's Journey is because I had broken my leg and had to stay in bed for a while, so I had nothing to do all day. I wanted to try out something new since I've always loved this type of games, and eventually, I decided to make a simple game for fun based on past experiences and emotions in a couple of days, and it ended up going unexpectedly viral.
Hello, I wanted to ask you how old Booker or Paul is.
There isn't a confirmed age for either of the two, but what is confirmed is that Booker is in his mid to late 20s and Paul is in his very early 30s.
Does Booker and Paul have a backstory? Or were they just people who met along the way? And do they have any other important people in their lives, like siblings or friends?
Thank you so much for your kind words earlier in the message. To answer your question, yes, Booker and Paul were childhood friends. They knew each other from a young age. However, to be honest, I haven't really thought about their family and close ones. They both had friends for sure, though it might have been a bit harder to make friends for Booker.
Hey Lily, I love both your games, and I wanted to ask, have you played Bad Things or The Moon I Rot Behind? Then my second question was, how did you come up with the concept of Drawnout? Like the characters, pacing for the story, and the character designs. Then my final question I wanted to ask is, are you ever going to make a Discord, or do you have a Discord server?
Thank you so much, and yes, I do have a Discord server. The link is in my channel's description. Paul's Journey didn't have a pre-made script. That means that I made everything on the spot, while on studio. Of course, I used to write down some concepts and dialogues I wanted to include in the game, but I mostly designed how I wanted the story to continue on the spot. I did the same with Drawnout. I had the main idea, the metaphor I wanted the game to revolve around, and continued from there. It allowed me to be more creative and inclusive. As for the characters, I wanted them to look like Paul's character, but have their own unique look. Booker appears to be a bit darker than all the other Robloxians, to emphasize that he's seen as different and weird. And yes, I have played both games. I'm actually a fan of both. I think they're both incredibly well made and also beautiful games in all kinds of ways.
Hi, are there any plans to release plushies of Booker, Paul, or Gus in the future? What's your favorite song?
I've actually considered making plushies for the characters. However, I'm still not sure about it, and I have other priorities right now. In the future, maybe. Also, I don't have a favorite song at the moment, but I really like Father Stretch My Hands by Kanye West, Make It to the Morning by Party Next Door, and New Magic Wand by Tyler, the Creator.
Do you have any pets?
No, I don't. I've always wanted to get a dog though.
Do you ever go and look at the art and pins made about Drawnout Paul's Journey on Pinterest?
Yes, I do. I frequently check TikTok as well as YouTube.
Lilly, what's your favorite character? Any show or game?
My favorite character ever would probably be Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen or Echo from Arcane, though it's hard to pick.
Are the characters for spreading mental health related to anything? Or did you make them because of the idea that people struggle with these stuff?
The characters were mainly created so that people could relate to them and realize that others also struggle with the same things they do too.
What are your favorite Roblox games, psychological and non-psychological?
I enjoy playing Murder Mystery 2 and Piggy. And my favorite psychological horror game would definitely be Bad Things.
I have a crush on Booker. Can you add me into the game and make me be his girlfriend?
No.
Do you plan to make any more games? And can you list the ones you've made? P.S. I love your games.
Thank you. And yes, I'm planning to make more games in the future. I've already worked on a lot of projects, but most were just silly, trashy games. I made 2 games that I worked on for a while, but eventually abandoned them because I didn't have the skills I needed in order to finish either of them. The first one was called Karen, which was made in 2022, and it was supposed to be a horror game about a Karen. Wow, how funny. The other one I made, which I'm still sad to have abandoned, was Steal Santa's Cookies, which was a horror game as well. You were supposed to be visiting the North Pole, Santa's attraction, 10 years after Santa went missing and the attraction became abandoned, in order to steal his famous cookies. Both games were never released. Then came Paul's Journey, and after Paul's Journey came Drawnout.
Do you feel like making the game comforted you in a way?
Definitely. I think the whole reason why I made the game focus on such deep topics was because I wanted to find comfort in it.
Questions about Drawnout. If Booker had a favorite animal, what would it be? If Booker had met psychological characters from other psychological games, who would you think will be the closest or friends with? Booker likes to draw, then what inspired him? How did Gus and Booker's first conversation go before they became friends?
I think that Booker wouldn't like animals in general, so I'll leave that up to your imagination. Booker would definitely be close with Basil from Basil's Pizza Time. Also, Booker has been drawing since he was a teen. He's always liked drawing and is very creative as a person. By the way, Booker's first interaction with Gus happens during the friendship ending. They meet at the town hall, where Booker offers the seat next to him to Gus and they sit together.
Hi Lilly. Us the goats, aka me and my best friend Coco, have some questions for your Q&A. Booker's favorite drink? What's your least favorite sushi? Did you expect the game to get popular? What was your reaction? Were there any changes that you wanted to make while developing Paul's Journey and Drawnout? If so, what was it?
Booker's favorite drink would probably be Bloxy Cola, Coca-Cola if you're talking about real life. I think he would like it. And, believe it or not, I hate nigiri sushi. I don't care what it has on top, I just don't like the texture of raw fish on my tongue. That's why I hate this type of sushi. Also no, I did not expect Paul's Journey to get popular at all. As I've already mentioned before, I made it for fun and advertised it on TikTok just to see if it would get any views. I was so shocked when it went viral and thousands of people started playing it, and I genuinely think that must have been some of the happiest days of my life. What kind of sucked for me is that I had not put as much effort as I wanted to have put into it, since I didn't think it would actually get attention from anyone. And yes, I did and still do want to make changes to both games. I believe some things could have been done differently, and I definitely could have done more than I did.
How would you describe each character's personalities, and does Paul know Gus?
Does Paul know Gus? Let's ask. No, Paul doesn't know Gus. I would describe Booker as energetic and outgoing. He talks a lot and jokes around, but he also hides a lot about himself and pretends he's okay even when he isn't. He gets defensive pretty easily if people get too personal, but he's a really good friend and genuinely cares about the people around him. Paul's basically the older friend, so I always imagine him being more mature than the others. He's serious and gentle, and he's the type of person who shows he cares through what he does rather than what he says. Gus is kind and energetic, and once he gets comfortable with someone, he becomes really talkative and shows his true personality.
What would their styles look like? Like, what would they wear?
I think Paul would wear something like this because he's an uncle. Booker would be a bit more alternative, and Gus, well, this. Wait,
Hi, I want to ask what music Paul would like, and in what he works.
Paul works at an office.
Who was the creepy figure guy that Booker keeps drawing in the game? And does it have a name, or is it just Booker's imagination?
If you're referring to this guy right here, who can also be spotted in Booker's drawings, as you mentioned, no, he doesn't have a name. He represents Booker's depression and urge to harm himself, however he's not a real person other people can see. He is the one interacting with Booker throughout the game, slowly diving him deeper and deeper into his misery and eventually causing his death.
Hi, I wanted to ask what inspired you to start making games, and can you tell us a little about your journey of being a game developer? I love your games, by the way.
Thank you so much. I didn't have access to take lessons in order to actually learn how to make a game, so I remember since the day I tried out Roblox Studio for the first time I would learn from tutorials and videos explaining stuff on YouTube. I don't remember what exactly inspired me to check out Studio, but I was always drawn to video games and how they worked. I would usually just mess around in Studio until I eventually got familiar with the engine and figured everything out on my own. Then I started to build stuff. I'd already made lots of games long before Paul's Journey, though the other games I made never got any attention, so I would always end up making them private a while after their release. Still, I don't have great experience in game developing, but I try to improve my skills and learn more every day.
Hi, for Q&A, tell us a bit more about the new game you're working on.
I'm glad you asked. The game is still in very early development, so I'm not sure when it will be finished yet, but I hope I'll be able to complete it eventually. The story follows Flower, a girl who struggles with feeling accepted and believing she's enough, as she desperately tries to become someone others will accept. Like my previous games, it explores mental health through a psychological narrative. I'm not going to spoil anything more since, as I mentioned, I'm not sure when it will be finished and it may not be finished at all.
What's your favorite thing about developing games?
I think it's the fact that I can turn any idea into a game. Something that starts as a simple thought can become an experience that other people can play and connect with. So, seeing an idea of mine come to life is probably my favorite part of developing games. I don't think I have all the answers, but if there's one thing I'd advise you to do, it would be to be kind to yourself. I know that's easier said than done, but healing isn't something you have to rush. If my games, specifically, helped you feel seen, then they've already done what I hoped they would. But if they reflect what you're going through, please remember that you deserve support outside of the game too. Reaching out to someone you trust is one of the strongest things you can do, and I hope that my games remind you that even in the darkest moments, there are people who care about you, and it's okay to reach out for support. You're kind, you're smart, and you're loved, and you're needed here, so please don't do anything stupid. That's all. Take care of yourself. Okay, sorry, I just need to change the background for the outro, please don't mind me.